the Duke of Wellington, the Duke of Wellington, the Duke of Wellington. Alright, I tried to make like a wee rhyme there, like a wee rap type thing with my own voice, like repeating it, but it just sounded absolutely ridiculous, so I'm sorry for that. However, at least you know what we're going to be talking about in today's video, the Duke of Wellington. So what is this mad Duke of Wellington thing, I hear you asking me? And it's a very good question. So have you ever been in Glasgow, right? You don't even need to have been in Glasgow, you'll have seen it somewhere. And you've seen this like horse, it's like a statue of a horse and a guy on the horse. And the guy has got like cones on his head, or he's got a cone on his head. That is what the Duke of Wellington is, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. I mean, it's just such a magical landmark of Scotland. I mean, even if you're not from Scotland, you've probably seen it somewhere. I mean, it's so well known. And we're going to get into the story of it today. You know, there's a lot of funny things about this. And I just think it's a brilliant topic to talk about. So let's get into it. Okay, let's go way back to the start, to where this ridiculous tradition began. Okay, so I've looked up a few sources and it dates back to the 1980s, alright? So let's go back to the 1980s, right? Now, if you're from Scotland, you already know this, but typically and traditionally, Scotland are just a nation of just getting absolutely fucked at their nut. Now, if you're not from Scotland, then you don't know what I mean by this. Basically, in Scotland, we love our alcohol. The drinking was so bad, we actually had to even implement this like minimum unit pricing. People used to buy very cheap alcohol because it had loads of units and it'd get them fucked. But they've had to bring in laws to stop this because it was so bad. Right, anyway, you might be thinking I'm getting a bit sidetracked here, but the point of that story is Scotland are always fucked, right? So just imagine Glasgow on a Saturday night, right, in the 1980s. There's going to be a couple of people cutting about, right, and they're going to find a traffic cone lying on the side of the street. And they're going to think, what am I going to do with this, right? So they see the statue of the Duke of Wellington, and they waddle over to it, like, absolutely out of their face, with this cone, and they're like, do you know what would be hilarious? See if we put this cone on that man's head. That would be brilliant patter. So what they did is they climbed up with this cone and cemented it on the boy's head, right? And that was the start of this amazing tradition. So that's how it started, and for some reason people just loved the idea. So they decided that whenever it was taken down, which apparently, according to this source I've got here, apparently it cost £100 every time they wanted to remove this cone. So it kept getting removed, and these people just, you know, it started sticking, you know, people found it a little bit funny, so they put it back up. And this was costing the council £100 every time, and apparently, allegedly, £10,000 per year. So if my maths is correct, that means this cone was getting put up on the horse 1,000 times per year. So that's obviously not quite right. So the figures on this website aren't quite 100% correct. So don't take this 100% as facts. But anyway, this kept happening. So what the council did, which I think is a brilliant idea, is they came up, they were going to do a restoration project. This was going to cost about £65,000, and what the idea was to add 6 feet onto the height of the statue. And this was going to hopefully deter people from climbing the statue, obviously, because instead of having to climb 14 feet, they were going to be having to climb 20 feet. You know, a lot more dangerous heights we're talking here. However, the Scottish people were not happy with this. Obviously, they love the tradition of having the cone on the head. It's so popular. I mean, it's even world famous. So they had a petition, and over 100,000 people worldwide signed this petition to stop the restoration project. The voices were heard, and the council decided against the restoration project, which made a lot of people very happy. Now, if you don't believe me on how popular this statue is and how famous it is, then I've got a little video here which is going to show a very big celebrity actually mounting this statue with the cone on its head. Play the video. Man's obviously lost his reindeer and he's needing a new ride, so he's decided that Duke of Wellington's horse would be the best fit, especially with that cone on his head. And the funniest thing is, there's 2 community wardens just waiting at the bottom of that statue for him to come down. I mean, he could stay up there all day and there would be no chance of them catching him. You know, if he just sat up there all day, I'm sure they'd pack it in. When their shift's finished, they'd have to go home. I mean, I hope Santa doesn't get a fine for that, that's all I'm saying. I've got another video here that shows just how popular it is. There's actually a guy on the street pretending to be the Duke of Wellington with a cone on his head. I mean, you've got to give props to the guy for staying still for that long, and to be fair, the costume is very impressive. Like, imagine turning up to a Halloween gaff dressed like that. You'd get so many ladies. It'd be shite because you couldn't talk to them, because like, you wouldn't want to break character. So maybe you wouldn't get many ladies. Now, the reason I decided to make a video on this subject is actually because I saw a recent news article, and it was basically saying that Scotland had just beat a world record, and I was very intrigued by this, so I clicked on the article. You'll never guess what the world record is. I mean, because you know what the video's on, you might. Scotland got the world record for the most traffic cones on a statue's head. That's right, some geezer managed to get 7 cones on the Duke of Wellington's head at one time. Absolute madness. Now, with all this talk about traffic cones, I think it's only best to leave you this video. I mean, it just sends shivers down my spine. I feel absolutely brilliant on the inside watching this, and the guy in this video just has so much talent, so just let's fire this video up. Mad respect to this guy. I don't know if he's out his chopper or wit, but I just really respect him. I mean, he's obviously uplifting a lot of people. He's bringing a lot of joy to people's lives. And with that being said, that's going to be the end of this video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it. It does really help the channel, and I do appreciate it. If you're new around here, subscribe as well. And I'll see you guys in a video very soon.